God is on my side, because if he wasn't, he would not have taken me through these things. I know he's on my side, and his hand is in everything, because what I'm about to say next is is even crazier. Hey y'all, so I've been on a little sabbatical from a lot of things and from life, honestly. And I've just been taking a step back because this past year in 2024, I went through it. I went through a lot of stuff. And it's only by the grace of God that I've been brought out. And overall, I think the theme lately has been that there will be good things in your life that you will have to let go. I went through the most unexpected things this year, and all of my goals that I kind of like set for 2024, as far as like moving, as far as career wise, or I would guess maybe entrepreneur wise, and as far as like self growth wise, it feels like I kind of that kind of got abolished. And I'm going to talk a lot about in this video how things aren't going to go the way that you expect them. And there's going to be huge pivots in your life that are for the greater good. And I'm going to try to talk more about myself, because I always do, huge philosophical life lessons about you, but this is going to be about me. And the reason why is because sharing the things that I've gone through is so important, and a lot of you all will be able to relate. And this past year, I think one of the main reasons that I haven't been filming YouTube videos lately is just because I've been burnt out. I went through depression and anxiety this year, and I even was in therapy for about a month, I would say, because it got a little bit expensive. And when I was in therapy for that month, my therapist told me from, this little assessment that they do of like asking you some questions about how you've currently been feeling, that I was dealing with some moderate depression and anxiety on both sides. And on a few levels in my life, I felt like whatever I was doing, I was just digging myself. I kept like pretty much like, how a dog is like digging a hole and then they're like pulling up the dirt, right? I just felt like I was that dog digging the hole, and I was trying to dig somewhere deeper, but whenever I would like dig another hole, like dirt would fall back into the hole. So like I would be digging, but I wouldn't be getting anywhere. And so that's what I felt like throughout this whole journey. And one thing that happened recently is I decided to kind of really shut down my business. So you all have seen me throughout this past year do a lot of things, and I'm so proud of the things that I've accomplished. I hosted my first ever meditation retreat, and that was something that I was super, super proud of, because my goal has always been to help people reconnect with themselves, like whatever that means. Reconnect with yourself, release emotional baggage that's holding you back, be your own boss, whatever that looks like for you. And I do that through teaching and facilitating mindfulness and wellness and meditation and yoga and all those things. And this was a year that I chased that dream of, and my ultimate dream is to have my own wellness facility, right? Like not only like a yoga studio, but just have a retreat space where people of color can enjoy their own space without the societal pressures for people who look like me to conform to a certain way that we release our emotions and we release our trauma. So anyways, long story short, what was the story? I really invested a lot in that dream this year, and I went full throttle on it. So much so that I put my money where my mouth was. And a lot of entrepreneurs will say that, like, if you have never been in debt before, then you weren't really doing it. And if you don't give your all, if you don't take all these risks, then you'll never know what's coming on the other side for you for success in your business. And that is true. In order for you to actually get somewhere entrepreneurial wise, you have to take some risks. A lot of entrepreneurs go into debt years before they actually make a profit in their business. And especially with my route, with a holistic wellness route, there's a lot that you can do in there. And I mean, I already have a presence on YouTube and have had that for years before I even chased any sort of concrete thing or product or service that I was offering. So this past year in 2024, and even like mid 2023, I had started investing a lot of money in educational things like courses, books, programs, and I invested overall, I would say, and when I say invest, I just meant I just paid for it, right? I invested an amount that somebody would pay for a car note, right? Like actually a whole car. And I invested a lot of money, use some credit cards, business credit cards, personal credit cards. I'm just putting my business all out there because it really doesn't matter anymore. And I really set my goals, set my vision, and did everything in my power. Honestly, I did a lot of work. I would say that. I did everything in my power to get to, in a year, make the amount of revenue to make up for the amount that I was spending on my business. And that visual of that dog digging that hole was me that whole time. And I am still not exactly sure why I had all these downfalls, but it just seemed like as soon as I started, right, I didn't have enough time for me. And that's really, I say I don't know why, but I know exactly why. It's really because that was the focus. Growing my business was the focus. Getting money was the focus. Getting myself out of debt was the focus. Appearing as if I was enjoying still what I was doing fully was the focus, instead of pouring into myself. I was pouring into just this dream or this vision I have or had. And I wasn't able to do both at the same time. So I think the first thing that I started to notice was that my passion for what I was doing in my work was dwindling. I hosted a lot of online classes, meditation classes, teaching you all how to meditate. And a lot of you all who are, watching me, you all may have, I don't know, involved yourself in challenges that I put on, or like the free classes, or I've offered so many things, coaching, my Patreon, meditation classes, in-person yoga events, my retreat that I had this past year. And I realized that I was always operating on a cup half empty thing. Like my cup was always half empty to the point where I was just pouring a little bit back in and then I would empty it out again. And I was operating out of sheer burnout. Mind you, I already work full-time hours as a stretch therapist, and I love my job, and that's something that is keeping me financially stable throughout all of this process. And I think the second thing that I realized was that I had this idea of what financial freedom is. And I'm 25. I'll just say that I'm 25 years old, and I feel like even though I'm young, that I've lived a lot of life. Can anybody testify, right? All the old souls out there. I know a lot of y'all comment on my videos and y'all are like, whoa, you're so wise. Like, how do you know these things at such a young age? You look young, but you're talking like you're in your 40s, 50s. It's because I feel like I've lived a lot of life. And at this point, there's been some life experiences that I've just absorbed and I've just understood. And because of those life experiences, I've been able to learn quick. In doing that, I learned quickly that even though I have this dream and the things that I love to do, I'm doing it. To what extent can I do them and still sustain my peace of mind and still keep loving what I'm doing to the point where I don't get burnt out? Because when I do get burnt out, I don't love what I'm doing anymore. It just feels like the thing that I love to do has now become another 9 to 5. So why not just work a 9 to 5? You know what I'm saying? At first, I had thought that being an entrepreneur is financial freedom. The fact that I get to be myself on YouTube and post YouTube videos, and then, grow an email list and grow a business out of it and offer products and services just off of being myself online and offering my own stuff online and pay myself is a blessing, right? But in the background, I come home from work. I'm tired already because my work is like a physical job. And I work on my operations for my business. I work on editing videos. I work on marketing and putting emails together. I work on emailing and reaching out to other people for collabs. I work on staying active in these Facebook groups so that I can have these business connections. And then I work on other things that honestly take up so much time that I'm not able to keep my business afloat and also have enough time to play my Sudoku puzzles, because that's something I've recently got into. Does anybody else do Sudoku? to keep your brain active and to relieve stress. Yeah, I love Sudoku. Anyways, I could barely do the things that I wanted to, like, and that wasn't freedom to me. Even though I was doing what I thought I wanted to do, I wasn't doing the things that I actually want to do and the things that I actually value. And online, I preach and I talk so much about self care and holistic wellness and take care of yourself and take those breaks when you need to. But I was not doing that for myself. I was not, because behind the scenes, I was just every second of every day that I wasn't at work, at my physical job, I'm worrying about the next deadline, the next YouTube video, the next whatever I'm doing. And there was always something in the back of my mind telling me I'm never doing enough to get by. And that feeling right there was not good for me mentally. And I was just had imposter syndrome. I would encounter people, a couple people would start to notice me like around my city or whatever. I would run into people at the grocery store that said, "Oh, I know you on YouTube. You must be making so much money, and you must be yeah." And I'm like, no, like subscribers, the number of subscribers that you have, or the number, like what it looks like, the vanity metrics of 30 whatever subscribers, 30,000 or whatever, does not equal that you're getting a lot of money, or that you're getting a lot of deals or sponsorships or whatever people think. And that made me feel like I'm not doing enough. Maybe I'm just not reaching out to enough people to collab with them. Maybe I'm just not doing enough marketing. Maybe I'm just not posting enough YouTube videos. Maybe I'm just not doing enough. And I just kept coming back to this idea of not enough, not enough, not enough, not enough, to the point where I started to spiral into this want to always do more than what I'm doing. And I just had to break out of it. I had to start to not care how much business that I had accrued. I started to not care about the fact that I spent more money to host my retreat than I got. I didn't get any profit for hosting my retreat. That was simply something that I really, really wanted to do to kick off my in-person wellness events side of my business, because I do all of these things because I enjoy doing it. But when it leads to burnout, what is the purpose? And why am I doing what I'm doing when I'm not even following what I tell other people to do, what my business and what my whole brand is about? And that just made me feel even more like an imposter. So I sit here today with about, I would say, $25,000 in debt. Yeah. Oh, probably didn't think it was that much, but yeah, it is. And the more that I talk about it and the more that I accept it, it's business debt, but some of that I took on personal financial means, but my credit score is still good though. Hey, I took on a lot of personal things to make these things stay afloat, and I'm no longer I'm just scaling back. I'm taking some time for myself. I'm pouring back into myself. I'm getting back into my workout routine. I'm getting back into my meditation routine. And I'm getting back into journaling, doing yoga daily, the things that make me happy, like talking on the phone with friends and being more social. And I already feel better because I've taken some time off. I've deleted the Instagram app off of my phone, and this is me season. Like Issa Rae said a couple years, this is me season. And you have to have those me seasons every once in a while when you feel that you just start to get drained, no matter what the circumstances, no matter how much debt I have. Now, I have a payment plan. I have a repayment plan. I have resources to help me, and God is on my side, because if He wasn't, He would not have taken me through these things. I know He's on my side, and His hand is in everything, because what I'm about to say next is is even crazier. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video so far, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below what you've got out of the video so far. It means the world to me. My name is Lauren, and I love to make content about Lock Journey, a holistic lifestyle, and wellness mindset. So if you like that, subscribe. Definitely, I appreciate you so much. So yeah, that's why I took a little break from YouTube, and I feel better. Now, I have recently also, on top of all these things, went through a breakup after 3 years of being with someone that I really didn't know. I don't feel like I really knew them. And I was in a really, really happy 3 year relationship. I mean, this was a person that was my best friend. Went on a family vacation with my family last Christmas and was always at Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners, and we just would do everything together, go to the spa, go to the park and spend our off days together. And we were planning on moving in together by the end of the year, by the end of 2024, and we had actually gotten approved for an apartment together, right? We had waited on the right of way for the management company of this apartment to let us know when we could come view the actual apartment that we applied to before we signed the lease. And there was a very extended holding time of when they were calling us back. Like they ended up never calling us back to view the apartment, but now I know why. And it's because in less than a week, I found out that number one, this person had been lying to me, manipulating me mentally, and also either physically cheated or stepped out of the relationship or had the intention, or no, they definitely had the intention to cheat. And they were doing some things online and on dating apps that they lied about, and I found out about it. That sparked a side of that person that came out that I would have never thought that I seen after 3 years of knowing them. And God definitely had his hand in this one. I experienced being stalked for the first time, and I experienced how much manipulation one can do and lying one can do to make you question your own, like what you've seen yourself and what you've experienced. And so basically, to tell a very long story short, after I found out that this person was being they were some infidelity on their side, I told them I needed space, and they started to become really obsessive. Obsessive is an understatement. I first experienced this person pull up to my house, try to get me to come outside to talk to them, to talk me out of, stepping back from the relationship. And I got 55 calls, y'all. This is not an understatement, and I can't make this up because I can show you the screenshot of the call logs. This person called me 55 times within an hour and a half in one day. And that actually wasn't all the calls that I got from them in one day. Now 10 or 15 calls from someone in one day is excessive. In one hour, that's excessive. But 55 is insane. And that was just the beginning of it. Over a week's time, I had this same person love bomb me by sending flowers to my job. And they weren't just like the regular flowers, they were like the Louis Vuitton wrapped flowers with the glitter on them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women would be psyched to get those, but I was at work and I was stretching a client, and it was love bombing. After that, I received multiple calls and texts throughout the day from them, and even this person just decided to text my dad and my brother to get through to me. And after it was finally over, after I finally, broke up with this person and blocked their number, I realized that this was not regular normal behavior of a normal breakup. It had happened really fast, and there's something to be said about losing someone who is not only your best friend, but you lean on them for everything. And it takes something out of you knowing that you can feel like you know a person for 3 years, and after 3 years, they just show a different side of you that you've never seen before. And this experience just changed me. I don't know, it just changed something in my body chemistry or just something. But that's not all. After blocking their number, because again, they have had many times where I tried to give them a chance to, I don't know, I tried to give them space, excessive calls and texts. After blocking their number, they show up to my job looking for me and asking what my work schedule is. Thankfully, I wasn't there, but we had to get law enforcement involved. After that, there was 2 weeks of nonstop calls and text messages that I got from this person from unknown numbers, WhatsApp messages. They even texted some of my friends and called some of my friends trying to get to me, and DM'd my friends, sent my dad long paragraphs and text messages, and even sent me emails and Instagram DMs. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I know this is not a normal thing to go through, and by the grace of God, I am emotionally, I'm okay. By the grace of God. This is what I mean by, like, I feel like I've lived a lot of life, because this experience that I recently went through it just wasn't normal. And it takes a little while to build trust up, just when you first get into a relationship or when you first get involved with somebody, and as a Gen Z, a lot of us already go into relationships, whether they be romantic or whether you're just, looking for friends, right? I have a very popular video on this YouTube channel called Why You Don't Fit In and Have No Friends. It can be difficult. Like the amount of you all who have commented just on that video telling me how difficult it is, you feel like, for you to make friends at school or to keep friends or to find genuine friends. It's difficult. We are in a epidemic, so to speak, where we feel like it's more difficult than ever to connect with people and to really learn genuine people. And even when you feel like you're a person who's healed within, when you get involved with someone who isn't healed, or when you find out that they are deeply, deeply affected by the things that have happened in their childhood, and then you have to let that connection go, regardless of what they've done that hurt you so bad, regardless of whether they've lied, manipulated, wronged you, you still have a connection with that person. If you yourself are a genuine hearted person and you interact with people on a genuine level, when somebody steps outside of that trust, it hurts like hell. It hurts. And you can forgive them, because I've forgiven that person. I have. And I think that's why I'm okay. That doesn't mean that I've talked to them since then. Their number is still blocked in as a matter of fact, I had to change their number because that was the only way that the texts were gonna stop, that the phone calls and WhatsApp messages were stopping. I have to say it. But at the same time, once you establish a connection with someone, it's like you can't disconnect. There will always be a part of you with them and them with you. And through that experience, I had to learn that all good things are still temporary. Every single thing you'll ever have in your life that's good, you'll have to let it go. That's not to say that being connected with other people is a bad thing, because it's not. It's a beautiful thing to be in a relationship. It's a beautiful thing to be in love. It's a beautiful thing to have your best friend or your homies, your homeboys, your homegirls, whatever. But every connection in your life, well, first of all, everyone that you ever know will betray you at some point. That's just the honest truth, because we're human beings, and there's people out here that have been really, really deeply hurt by their past experiences, and they can't help but to affect the closest people around them by their past experiences. But that is to say, don't let that affect you. Don't let that don't let that take you out. Do not let that take you out. What you have to do is take time for yourself, talk to yourself, get a group of people around you, your family, parents, friends, get a support group. And that's what I did. This is an experience that happened to me less than a month ago, the end of 2024. And God's hand was in this. You know why? Because just a few days before all of this happened, I was going to sign a lease with this person. I was going to be locked in with this person. And then you know what happened? The management company didn't let us see the apartment before we signed the lease. That's what happened. And at first I was like, that's kind of sketchy. They didn't let us see the apartment, and we kept going up there to the leasing office and calling back, and they would be like, the apartment's not ready yet, the contractors aren't working on it. I didn't know why. They didn't know why, but God knew why. So yeah, even when you can't see it, God's hand is in everything. And there's a reason why I had to go through that. I was very, very happy until a week before my breakup. And after that, now I'm 25. there's a lot of life for me to live. There's a lot more life for me to live. I've already felt like I've lived a lot, but this is just what I would like to share with you all. First of all, that the 20s is going to kick your ass, but also that if you are struggling to either find what your purpose is or whatever, or what you are meant to do in this life, or you're struggling to find your way through your social groups or your social interactions or find genuine friends, please, please, please don't be in a rush to do any of those things. Because even when you do those things, even when you find those things, there will be hardships that come with each and every one of those things. That does not stop. It does not stop for anyone, no one. So please don't be in a rush to experience life. Just experience what you have to experience right now, because sometimes you're looking at the future and looking at what you think you want, and you're looking at what you don't have, and you're rushing to get somewhere that God does not want you right now, because all your only job right now is to experience what's here for you and what's current for you, and that's it. That's literally it. So I hope that message resonates with you. Hey, if you want to see another video like this, then click right here in the little card section, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.